Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Stine and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. And as always, we can't talk about yarn without my faithful mug of tea. And today this is just a classic, a black tea with an infusion of a mango. So it's a black fruit tea basically. It's a little bit warm, so I'm just leaving it to cool for a little bit. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about yarn and projects. I finished the Ultimate Sacrifice shawl, which obviously I have right here. And we're going to talk a bit about that. I progressed on my hat as well, but I didn't do an awful lot regarding other projects, simply because I really wanted to finish this one. We talked about it last week. I had hoped to have finished this in August. I did not make it. Reality was that it just took a bit longer to crochet up those yards of yarn than I had first anticipated. And also I didn't want to only crochet the whole day. I also had a few other things to do past weekend. So yeah, I guess I just overestimated how much, or underestimated would be correct to say. I underestimated how much yarn there was still left. And it was definitely more than what I had time to do. And that's fair enough. So then Monday came and Tuesday came, and still being a busy bee. I did crochet, but like not an extreme lot. Wednesday on the live, we almost finished this. I missed about 3/4 of a row, or 2/3, maybe even 2/3 of a row. And I continued that Wednesday evening. And then when I was about a quarter left, well, not even a quarter, a third left, I saw I had made a mistake. In the here in the bottom end, so not here in the top, but in the bottom end, which is also basically here at the very top, you do in each chain space 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, following chain space, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, etc. I had apparently forgotten to do the 2 chains, 2 double crochets, so I only had the 2 double crochets in that space. So yeah, guess what? I had to frog back about an hour and a half work. And I did. And that is why, my friends, this first finished up Thursday. So I finished it yesterday. I am super pleased with how it looks. I did put a nice flat lay photo on the thumbnail of this video. I will insert that photo as well here. Just for the joy of you guys to see how it at least is a flat lay. It's not blocked yet, so it will stretch and be a little bit more wavy once blocked. I'm quite sure of that. But I am super pleased. I did this in the Hobbii Azalea yarn. It's a 200 gram cake, so 7 ounce cake to 800 meters or 874 yards. It's 52% cotton and 48% acrylic. Colorway, I do believe 6 Royal Command. And I think it's gorgeous. There's not much more to say. So I'm gonna get up with my chair. I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna see if I can make you the back show stretched out. And I'm not sure if there's room for the whole shawl on the video or if I can be in the frame, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But this is basically how it looks when it's just relaxing on me. So it has gotten a nice, decent size. I did add bit extra because I had leftovers from the cake I used for the GingerTea cowl. And I did cut up the yarns, because somewhere here was where I had to add the extra. So I did do that. And looking on what it is, I'm really happy I also optioned to add in that extra, because the color transitions from the light blue and the very dark navy down here are longer than the color transitions in between. But as the shawl gets longer and you get more stitches per row, the color transition goes a little bit shorter. And by adding these extra, I kind of extended the whole thing as well. So I'm actually super, super happy how this turned out. Plus, I only have a minimum amount of leftovers to put in my scrap stash. Like, this is how much yarn I have left. And there is not enough to make a full round. So that is the only reason, my friends, it's going to my scrap. But yeah, and this would be the back side. But let's see, if I move like this, I should be able maybe to be in full view. I hope. I can't actually see it, to be honest. Yeah, I am in full view, more or less. I hope I'm not too unaligned, but this, my friends, is how we're looking stretched up in the air. And I think it's gorgeous. There isn't much to say except that. It's just beautiful. So beautiful. And for your convenience, as promised, I am gonna insert a photo. This is how it looks flat laid out, and it is gorgeous. I am super happy with how this turned out. Blocking though will have to wait a bit more than a week, as I am not home the coming week. And after that, I'll have to find time to block this, friend. It's I'm super happy with the end result. Definitely super duper happy. And also not the last time I've made one of these. It's a nice pattern. It's easy to make. Little thinking. What's not to like? At least only in the beginning here of the increases, you need to have a little bit of a focus. But once you're done this past and you're really out here, it's so easy, I think, personally. Up here, doing the few increases, you really need to mind your stitches. It only takes stacked single crochets, double crochets, and chains to make this. Oh, and treble, a single treble. At the end, when you get out to this fan row, every stitch in the very end is a treble. So one treble stitch here a row. So it's easy. It's definitely, except for the counting aspects up here, I would say the pattern is reasonable even for beginners. The counting bit is a bit more intermediate, but if you are decent at counting your stitches, don't fret. Link to this pattern and where you can buy it, description box down below. It is by Lorraine Pug of, on Ravelry. You can get it. I do believe right now it's like €6.25. For a whole long period, it's not been possible to purchase this pattern. There was some issues with her Ravelry, I believe. But it's been solved. I see that you can again purchase this pattern. So if you like it and you're keen to give it a try, I would say go check her out. It's in the description box down below, the link to the pattern. Cool. We did not progress on Fleur. I kind of had said if I had enough time after finishing this and everything else, I would work on Fleur, but the fact is just it took longer to finish this. I haven't had time to work on Fleur. And I still generally wanted to finish this. That means that currently I actually only have one, except for Fleur, work in progress. And I believe once that's finished, because I kind of want to finish that before leaving, then if I have time over, I'll work on Fleur if I want to craft. And then I might not get that far, but it's better than nothing. And it's also time to slowly pick up Fleur again. It is weather-wise getting easier to sit with a big blanket and working on it. And yeah, it's just too warm if I have to just only sit with it on top of me. But it is, as I said, September is getting autumn. And as we get a couple of weeks in here, I think the weather is also definitely much more blanket friendly to work in. Right now it is still a little bit warm. They're actually promising us up to 27 degrees here Sunday, but I'm leaving Sunday, so I'm not gonna experience much of it. But when it's like 20-ish or so degrees outside, it's fine to work on Fleur. It's not too warm. But when we get much past 22, 23 degrees, I think it starts to get really kind of warm. So it is definitely going to be an autumn project that I am going to spend more time on than first estimated, because I am behind if I really want to finish this one this year. And it's a goal, but if I'm ever going to meet this goal, I don't know, because I have a few other things I need to do as well. But we will have to see. And if not, then it's just not meant to be. I still want to try. But I'm not sure if it's realistic. Oops, I need to watch my yarn so I don't put it all the way away. But here we have Fleur. You can't get the full grasp of it because I am just not. Screen isn't big enough. The blanket is too big. Whatever you want to do or want to say. But yeah, it's still gorgeous. I love the colorways. Thought we are around, I do believe it's around 93. I need to do 129, so it's not that far actually. Like counting on them like that, it's only another 36 rows. Should be very easily doable, right? There's just a lot of stitches in every row now. That's the thing. And I'm not sure if I'll be wide enough to hold it up like this when it's finished. But then we'll take a step back and we do like we do with the shawls, and we're like, look at this beauty. So Fleur, I will start working on it again, especially if I have time before traveling, after having everything settled for traveling. But I'm not gonna bring it with me. It's way too big to bring with me. And my suitcase is kinda slowly getting pretty full because I have a few things I need to bring home. Including, I bought myself a mug. Well, bring home in the sense of I am at home, but I'm going home to visit my parents. And I bought myself an extra new tea mug because I need it for work. You know, I work when I'm home as well. I bring my work with me. So that is also one of the reasons that my suitcase is kind of full, because I don't have room to stuff extra things into my carry-on. So it's all going into the checked-in luggage. And this time there's a few extra bits and bobs to bring with me for the check-in luggage. And I'm really not in the mood to bring the big bag with me because that's way too big. So I just need to make do with what I have. Yeah, but cheers for the tea. I really need to remember that. It's a different color, and I just tend to leave it because I am traveling back and forth a reasonable amount of time. And I've come to the conclusion it would be really nice to actually just have my mug of tea there too. So the other project I'm working on is this knit beanie in this gorgeous Lena yarns from the Wibra, which is 50 grams skein, so 1.75 ounces of 1.75 ounces to 80 meters, so about 86 or 87 yards. It's made in Turkey, and it is, I do believe, I gotta take this one because I don't want to ruin that bowl before I have to open it. 30% wool and 70% acrylic it is. They recommend 6 to 6.5 millimeter knitting needles or crochet hook. They say that if you want to make a medium-sized sweater, you need about 10 of these balls. Well, I only have 2. I think I could have bought 3, but that was it back when I bought them, when they were in the store. And I decided, well, I'll just get the 2 because I can make a hat of that, definitely. I'm about a little bit, maybe around halfway, maybe a little bit more, on a classic rib knit beanie hat for this. Here you can actually see how this color change goes around, because we are heading into this lighter blues, and then we'll head into the reds. And then we'll go back to the teals, etc. So that's kind of how it works up net. There is 80 stitches on this, 6mm needles, and this is basically how the colorway is working up. Ta-ta! So it comes pretty close, yeah. Definitely does. I'll of course wrap it up, and you know, I have my double pointed needles laying around. Got them ready already there, backed up. That's just too easy to keep track of them. To use them for finishing up this. I did it last time when I made the squishy soft chunky double knit beanie, which I had triple stranded, and I have to say that went pretty well actually with those double pointed needles, better than I had anticipated. So I'm gonna do the same for this because I realized that when I'm trying to decrease and close off with these, they're just too long compared to the work you have to work with. It gets very like squishy tight, you pull the yarn too much, stitches get horrendously horrible to work with because they're suddenly tinier than actually the needle sizes. And it just frustrates me a lot, I've learned. And of course, I am still not as avid knitter as I am a crocheter. But I have to say those double pointed needles, they actually work really nice. Optionally, I need to consider getting some extremely short pointed needles if I do want to do that in the round. I could consider that, and I might. But that could then, in that case, if I do that, it's going to be a wish list, clearly. But as said, I really like how this one is turning up. So that is basically my current project to finish. And it would be awesome if I can finish this beanie before I have to head to Denmark. And if I do finish this one and I have time left, then that is when I'm gonna work on Fleur. But that also means I need to have projects to bring with me, because obviously, as you can hear, I'm kind of getting out of projects. I have this eternally long whip laying in my stash, which we haven't talked about for more than a year, and I'm going to leave it there because I am not sure if it's going to turn out to be what I want to turn it out to be. It's not looking as good. Like, I love how it works up, but the design itself isn't looking as good, and it's not completely a fit. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it, to be honest. Right now it's just laying there, and I may use the yarn for something else, but it's undecided. We can take that discussion a good other day when it gets time for solving that. But instead, I want to bring the yarns, because last week we talked about, the last couple of weeks, we have talked about me wanting to make a bucket hat. I want to do the Krølle Bølle Summer bucket hat. I've done it before in mauve colors, and this time I'm gonna do them in yellow colors. This yarn I'm going to bring with me to Denmark. And we talked about it, I think the last probably also 2 yarn talks. It's these gorgeous yellows. So I need 4 skeins of them. Need most of this, which is the colorway 40 called Soul. We have colorway 37 here, which is the light yellow, and it is called Canarino. And then we have the colorway, let's see if I can get it to show. It should be here somewhere. Why it's not showing? Here. This is colorway 21, and it's called a Latte. And those colors I am gonna throw together, and we're gonna make a lovely, great looking Krølle Bølle bucket hat. I have some experiences from last time I made it, which I'm going to implement for this time around. And yeah, that's kind of the project I want to bring with me. That said, I do have another project that I'm also bringing with me, which I may just start working on before this, because then it's completely done and dusted. This summer, I worked on some pot holders that didn't completely succeed, and I needed to get yarns to make it the second. Absolutely gorgeous Mosiac-like pot holders. That yarn I received, and that is coming with me as well, but I'm not showing it to you because I'm gonna leave you in the other questioning. But there will be a yarn haul video next week when I'm away. It's just a small one, but for the matter of the speaking, then you have something to watch, and then that might help you remind exactly what type of yarn I'm bringing with me. When I'm home again, I hope to have that knit beanie finished, but I actually have 2 more skeins of the Lena yarns from the Wibra. It's just another colorway, which is this gorgeous blue-ish color tone, blue, gray, pinks. And I'm gonna turn this into a knit beanie as well. Exactly same, just gonna follow the same pattern. And whip this one up as well. And I am gonna do that when I get home as probably one of the first projects, because I feel like it. And once I'm back home, then I am gonna look for some cakes. And these cakes I am gonna probably bring with me to the live I will have on the, I do believe, 17th of September. And we can decide on what pattern to make with these cakes, or one of the cakes. So I am gonna dive into my stash and see what I have, grab that inspiration, and then we'll just get started on whatever project we think fits that. I do think I want to make another, teapot atelier shawl. I do have most of the patterns in my pattern vault. She makes gorgeous patterns, and I had this idea that I wanted to make all of her patterns, at least those that speaks to me. And to do that, we better get started, because I have the feeling she's releasing more patterns quicker than I actually crochet them. She's efficient. She's making great integrate designs, so that's definitely an option, or I'll end up doing something else. But I have the feeling I may want to add one of those to it. I think that's pretty much it. As I said, next week I'm away, so there will be a yarn haul video for you guys to watch. Enjoy that one. I will be back on, I believe it's Wednesday, 17th of September. At least it's Wednesday, not next week, but the following week. I'll be back live with you guys from about, if everything goes well and nothing gets in the way, 2-ish p.m. Central European time. And we'll just see what's happening then and how much I've gotten done, what we can start on. But I believe we are gonna look at some cakes and gonna pick a new crochet shawl pattern. Yes, thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate this. Don't forget to hit that like button. It does help get my message out there and get some extra support. Also, subscribe, share, and for those that's curious about my mom, I believe she's doing well. I am, as said, going there to help. Wednesday will be, if everything goes right, her last chemotherapy treatment. It's, everybody's like, is it going better? And they kind of want to know if it's improving. And the thing is, right now, I think overall, she's definitely a lot better than she was back in March, April, May. But what is that right now, it doesn't maybe visibly seem like she's improving, but that's more likely due to the chemotherapy treatments. It is rough to get 3 different types of chemotherapy to your body every 2 weeks. Hopefully that's the last one. Once that's out, she can really start her recovering path. In about 5 weeks time, Monday, 5 weeks time, she will have her last PET scan. We'll have to wait like a week for the answers of those. So in like 6 to 7 weeks, we should know if this whole progress have actually helped. Meanwhile, all your prayers is super appreciated. And obviously when I'm home, I'll just try my best to help the best way I can with whatever they need. If that's making a bit of extra food to put in the freezer or do some cleaning and whatnot, next to driving her to her appointments. And of course, taking care of my full-time job, and maybe I have enough time to crochet a bit in between. I kind of do hope I do have time for that. So that was pretty much it. I'm going to say take care and happy crafting. Until I see you again. Bye.